Well, the first one we had just gotten in country about 3 or 4 days prior. Flew into Bagram, or flew into we got into. Yeah, flew into Bagram, and then from there we pushed out to our assignments. I got sent to Kandahar, and my team had just rolled back in, and so we were doing a swap of the JTACs, and I walked in, and they're like, you the JTAC? I'm like, yep, like, good, come here. We're leaving tomorrow for a mission. So
of course, that's always the way it is.
I'm like, great, where are we going? So we had a map. The problem with the map was it was a Russian map, written in Russian. Russian.
Yep,
and
standard.
It was off, and it was like off by 700 meters. So you had that, for everything you did, you had to account for that 700 meters. But the helo in, supposed to do this, high speed. You're gonna come in, go off the back end of the helicopter, right at the mountaintop, blah blah blah, do all this stuff. The whole mission was that we're supposed to be eyeballing to confirm that there was 2 Al Qaeda training camps. One was supposed to have like 700 guys in it. The other one was supposed to have 500 guys in it. So we did a split team up, 5 and 7. I was on the Alpha team, and we had 7 guys. We had some kind of signal guy from the Army. He was intercepting phone calls and stuff. But we go in, and it's supposed to be all sneaky peeky and all that shit. And the bird comes in, junior pilot. He puts the bird down ass end on top of the mountain, so the ramp didn't open all the way. And I was supposed to be first guy off. We hit hard. I fell down, dropped some shit. I was picking it back up. But it's 47. It's noisy as hell in there. And so the guy on the other side, supposed to be number 2 out the ramp, looks at me. He thought I got shot. The guy just collapsed. I just fell. And so he just goes. Well, I stand back up, grab my ruck, and we weren't wearing them. We're just dragging them. I stand up. I see him drop at the back of the helicopter, and he just slides out. I'm like, well, he just got shot. My turn. We get out there, and he dropped to get out because it was only open a little bit. The ramp wasn't open, but about I think 3 feet, maybe 2 feet.
Jeez.
You had to squeeze yourself through. And so I had to kick my ruck out of the helicopter, literally kicking it, and then slide out. And I grabbed my ruck as I was going out on my ass, and just was kind of laying down, sliding out, and didn't expect the terrain to be like it was.
Yeah.
It was damn near straight down. So my 100-pound ruck goes rolling down the mountain
Oh, no.
with my arm in it.
Oh.
It's just dragging me and spinning and wrapping around my arm. And I had broken my shoulder years ago at a parachute jump, right? And I heard that thing snap again. I'm like, fuck. So I don't know how far I fell. I tumbled for a solid 30 seconds probably. Came to a big boulder that stopped me, and I went to put my ruck on. The strap was broke, so I only had one strap on my right side.
Man.
Climbed back up this mountain, and they all thought I was dead. They're like, oh, you're here. I'm like, yeah.
You made it.
So I walked around with 115 pounds on my one shoulder because this one was broken, but the strap was broken anyway. It didn't even matter.
Yeah.
So I picked this thing up, like, oh.
Jeez.
Yeah, that was an interesting mission. Then we got probed. And I don't think we were there for more than 30, 40 minutes. And I had just like they told me, hey man, rack out for about an hour, right? I'm like, all right. So I go to rack out, and I'm like laying down for maybe 5 minutes, and dude crawls over and he's like, hey, Air Force, time to do that JTAC shit. And so we popped up, figured out what's going on, got the B1s on station, and they were going to drop a couple 2,000-pounder JDAMs, and the sun was starting to come up about like 5:30. The sun was just starting to come up, and one of the guys, he calls back. He's like, man, hold on the airstrike. So I told the guys to abort because they were doing their final running.
Yeah.
Told them to abort, head back to the IP because they're about 40 miles out, I think they were.
Right.
And like, what's going on? And it turns out these weren't Al-Qaeda training camps. It was a village filled with women and children. And I'm like, that could have been bad. I could have wasted the entire village.
Oh, man.
But the other team got compromised as well. And so we called to be lifted out. And they said, yeah, come get you later on, at nighttime. So as we're laying there, just kind of lounging around all day, sun goes down, and waiting on the birds about 15, 20 minutes out. I had an AC-130 check in with me. They were escorting the helos.
Nice.
And they checked in. I'm like, yeah, everything's hunky-dory. We're good. And so I we'll be there in about 20 minutes or so. And all of a sudden we see lights in the mountains. And we hear voices, we hear everything. So they started getting lit up a little bit. And that's why the AC-130, I was trying to point them out, where these guys were.
Yeah.
And so helos come in, we all, same thing, the same damn pilot, puts that ramp down on top of the mountain, opens up about 2 feet. So as you're running to the helo, you got the engines right here, and they're just burning your face.
Yeah.
And you had to crawl to the helicopter. But prior to that is when I had the guy when my nods broke, and I had the dude IR point the guys out, and I just told him, like, hey, we're getting on the bird, you're cleared hot. So, like,
right,
you're an AC-130, do what you do.
Right.
So as we were taking off, AC-130 was engaging, and they escorted us back in, and by chance I had contacted 2 A-10s, so we were being escorted back, and we're flying through some valley, and the ramps open, and you can see out the door and all that. And all of a sudden, you see all these tracers come flying at us, and I'm like, "This is gonna suck."
Oh,
so
man.
I called up the AC-130 and the A-10s. Like, the AC-130 didn't see them. The A-10 saw them, and he's like, "We'll mark it for the AC-130." So they rolled in and peeled off the side of the mountain with a 30 mic. And AC-130's like, "Yeah, see it. There's nothing left, but we see it." But that's kind of cool. The door gunner was just blazing away with the minigun. We landed and went on to our next mission. We moved out from there. I think about 3 days later, we rolled out from Kandahar to Daewoo. That's our fire base.
Mm.
And that was it. That's where the incident with the guy. We did a patrol, and we had just do like a presence patrol, and we rolled through I don't know how many villages, and just presence patrol, looking for intel, talking to local, the village elders and all that. Came back later on that day as the sun was going down, rolled through the last village, the first village we had gone through, back through that one, and everyone's waving, hey, how you doing? Oh, medic. And we got about 100 meters or so outside the town, and they lit us up. So return fire. Everyone just lit the village up, and we got back to the FOB, and it's like there were 10, 15 clicks down the road. So we got back, and as we're getting ready to pull into the gate, this truck comes rolling up, and they're like, hock of this, and blah 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 blah. So our Terp and the team daddy and the team captain started talking to the driver, because there was a guy in the back of it just laying there bleeding out. So Doc jumps in there. He's like, "Six pack, come on." So I get in the back of the vehicle. This guy's got holes all over his body, and he's like, "Put your finger right here." I put my finger in this guy's gut, buried it up to about there. All right, and he's like, "Just hold it," because there's blood pouring out of it. Turns out it was his liver, but there's just blood pouring out of it, and I'm just like trying to hold this thing in there. In the meantime, they're talking to the driver, and they kept saying, "Oh, it was Taliban that shot us." And at that time, I think Doc pulled out a round. It was definitely 5.56, right? So it was our.
Jeez.
We was definitely these are the guys that were shooting at us.
Yeah.
So they figured that out, and they wrapped that driver up real quick, hog-tied his ass with zip ties. Team daddy looked at Doc and says, "They're Taliban." Doc goes, "Pull your finger out," like, and the guy died right there. But I was like, "Go to Allah, motherfucker."